All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving deep into the Titan's crypto ecosystem. Now, this is a project that's trying to be something like a digital investment co-op, right? Pooling everyone's resources to get into some pretty complex, but also potentially very rewarding parts of the crypto world. We're going to break it all down and see how all the pieces fit together.
Okay, so let's start with the big idea behind the Titans project. What's the core promise? Well, at its heart, it's all about creating an investment engine that's built to be accessible for everyone by knocking down all those high walls that usually keep people out. The entire system is really built to answer this one simple question. I mean, just think about it for a second. Setting up a profitable Bitcoin mining operation is unbelievably expensive and super technical. Titans comes along and basically asks, what if you didn't have to deal with any of that mess directly? Now, there's a fancy official term for this, and it's a DePIN aggregator. DePIN just stands for Decentralized Physical Infrastructure Networks. But in plain English, it just means the project pools the community's money together to invest in real-world hardware and digital systems, and then it shares the profits with all its members. Simple as that. And this isn't just us saying it. The project's own white paper puts this mission right at the front. As you can see from the quote, the whole goal is effortless access. They want to take these opportunities that have super high barriers and make earning from them as easy as, using an app on your phone. So that's the promise. And it sounds pretty good. But how does this thing actually make money? How does the co-op generate revenue? Let's pop the hood and take a look at the engine that's supposed to be powering this whole system. Well, for starters, they're not putting all their eggs in one basket. The ecosystem is fueled by a really diverse portfolio. According to their own documents, they're combining the kind of steady Eddy stability of Bitcoin mining with investments that have higher growth potential. Things like decentralized cloud storage with Agon and even AI asset management with Cerberus. It's all about that balance between risk and reward. Now, here's a really crucial detail from their white paper. For Bitcoin mining, we all know the number one cost is electricity. Titans is claiming a rate of just over 5 cents per kilowatt hour. Now, if that number is accurate, that is a massive competitive advantage, and it would be a huge driver for their profitability. And this isn't an engine that's meant to just sit still. The project's documents lay out some pretty ambitious plans to scale everything up, even mentioning a potential future investment of over $1.4 million to expand their mining operations. So clearly, they're thinking about long-term growth here. Okay, so the engine is running, it's generating revenue. How do you actually get a piece of the pie? Well, the answer is in the ecosystem's 3 core assets. You can think of them as your keys to the co-op. The first key, and really the most important one, is the Titan token. And just look at the tokenomics. Out of 40 million total tokens, a massive 68% is allocated to the community. That's a huge signal that they're focused on getting these tokens into the hands of the actual users. So this table lays it out perfectly. You've got these 3 core assets, and they each have a different job. The Titan token, that's for staking to get a share of the overall rewards. Then you've got the Stronghold NFT, which is tied to rewards from specific investments. And finally, the Titan PFP NFT acts like a utility item, a booster for your other assets. Now that we know what the assets are, let's get into the mechanics. How does owning these keys actually turn into rewards in your wallet? This is where we get into the nitty-gritty, the rules of the system. If you're holding the Titan token, the process is pretty straightforward. All the revenue from the portfolio goes into one big pot. They take 25% for the treasury to help it grow, another 15% for maintenance costs, and then the rest, a full 60%, is distributed to everybody who's staking their tokens. Your slice of that pie? It's simply based on your percentage of the total stake. Easy. But for that second asset, the Stronghold NFT, it's a little different. It's not just a simple staking percentage. Instead, everything is based on this internal system that the project calls reward points. So the idea here is actually really simple. The more reward points your specific Stronghold NFT has, the bigger your share of the rewards will be from a specific investment, like, say, Bitcoin mining. Think of it like a personal score. Your goal is to get that score as high as possible to earn more. So, how do you get more points? This is where it gets kind of layered. The white paper shows that your reward points are calculated using different multipliers. These are based on your NFT's specific traits, like the level of its individual sites, its overall class or size, and even its rarity, which they call its realm. Let's look at the class of your Stronghold for a really clear example. A basic Garrison class NFT gets you a 5% boost to the points it generates. That goes up to 10% for a Fortress and all the way up to a 15% bonus for a rare Citadel. So in this system, rarity is designed to directly equal higher earning potential. And that brings us to our third asset, the Titan PFP. You should really think of this one as a power-up. When you stake it on your Stronghold, it doesn't just generate some Titan tokens. It also unlocks exclusive rewards and can actually reduce the time it takes to claim those rewards from 120 hours down to as little as 96. That's a serious utility. Okay, we've gone through the engine, the keys, and the rules. Let's zoom back out for a second and look at what this all adds up to. What's the big picture here? And what might this model suggest about where these kinds of projects are heading in the future? Maybe one of the most significant claims in the whole white paper is this one, this commitment to governance. The project states that it's going to give token holders actual voting power to influence where the treasury funds get invested next. That points toward a truly community-directed model. And all of this leaves us with a really provocative question. Is this kind of model, this DePIN aggregator that combines diverse investments, these complex reward mechanics, and community governance, is this a sustainable model for the future of investing? And the interesting thing is, this project is designed so that the answer to that question won't come from the developers. It'll come from the community of holders themselves.